Chapter 2. Waking to a clear sky and scenery to die for, anxious to take a shower, I attempted to get up, when in walked a burly red-headed woman with her hair in a tight bun. "Ms. Bishop, I'm your nurse. Mr. Blackstone instructed me to bath you and not allow you to walk on that ankle," she stated like a drill sergeant. "Yes, but where is Mr. Blackstone?" I questioned, my eyes searching around for my Mr. Black. "Mr. Blackstone placed a letter on the night table with instructions for you to follow. He had meetings, and then he's flying on to San Francisco." "Did Mr. Blackstone say anything about returning to Montana?" "He doesn't share that type of information with me, Ms. Bishop," she said, looming over me. "Of course he doesn't, you are the nurse, not his secretary," I said, full of sarcasm, taking my anger out on anyone. I felt used. "But that could not be, we are all adults," Mr. Black had stated. Glancing at the antique clock on the nightstand, my eyes settled on expensive stationery. The clock banged out 9 a.m. Where had the time gone? Last thing I remember, I was getting the fuck of my life and lying in Max's arms. Now I'm being ordered around by Broomhilda. Ms. Bishop, pay attention," she said with a rise in her strong voice. Yes, I heard you. You can help me into the shower. Then we can go to the fitness room afterwards." "Whatever you say," I mumbled, rolling my eyes. She assisted me. I limped into the shower, trying not to put my full weight on my ankle. I followed her directions in a daze and agreed to a massage that almost killed me, but I was fit for the next day. Well, maybe my body, but my mind was a wreck. After my shower, Hilda placed a luxurious white robe on the door, and I slipped into it. After placing me on the bed, a maid brought in 2 eggs sunny side up, English muffin, imported strawberry jam, a pot of English tea and milk. Mr. Black knew what I liked for breakfast. I wondered what else he knew. But what did I know of him? For one, he is impossibly handsome, he likes oral sex, and he said that he loved me. I didn't need to know any more. I sat for a moment staring at the fancy envelope with his brand on the front. It was written in the most refined cursive writing. My hands shook as I opened the folded page. It was so impersonal, I expected "Dear Darling," something romantic, but it read, "Dear Ms. Bishop, I have had a most interesting and fortuitous night. It is with great pleasure that I make this admission. Never have I been so taken with a woman as with you. Never have I felt as intense as I have with any woman. Our act of lovemaking is embedded in my soul, and I can't forget you, nor do I want to allow you to have another man experience the pleasures I have come to enjoy. Therefore, I am making an offer of employment at my head office in San Francisco, California. I assure you that you will not regret your decision. Furthermore, look over the contract that I have enclosed and sign it and present it to my butler. He will see that the document reaches me immediately. Thank you for your time. Mr. Maximilian Blackstone, S." After reading the letter, the hair on the back of my neck rose. I sat up in the bed murmuring, I have never been so insulted in my life. What kind of man says to a woman he had a fortuitous night? Yes, it was fortuitous for you, Mr. Black. Who would have thought that I would have been so easy to be seduced, fucked within the inch of my life, not me and probably not him. I was a captive audience, I rationalized. But who was I kidding? I wanted him so bad that I would have climbed a mountain if he told me. Instead, I let him climb me and plant his flag. There he was, tall, dark, and silent, but he spoke loud with his body. That was his thing. He could make love to a woman like no other, not that I had any to compare it to, and then put her on the payroll to ensure that he would have endless pussy. He's not going to get off that easy, I vowed. I know that I had an effect on him, and he's trying to hide it from me. You would think he was too old to play games, but here he is treating me like a commodity. I took the letter and the contract in my hands, made a ball, and threw it on the floor. Anxious to get back to work and forget that hot fuck of my life, I needed to sleep away the day. I reached for the muscle relaxers that Dr. Watson or whatever his name had prescribed, and I slept. I got up around midnight and limped out of bed and through the door. Seeing a light, I headed in that direction. Passing a bedroom, I stopped long enough to turn the knob, longing to see my tall, dark, handsome drink of water come to greet me. A faint light on a desk near a large California king bed provided a substantial view of the room. There were no pictures of naked women or anyone, no mother, brother, or sister. I guess he used this room for sleeping and the other for his orgies. My curiosity got the best of me, and I wobbled to the bed slowly, holding on to the edge until I reached the closet door and opened it. Someone said you could tell everything about a person by their closet, or was it their kitchen? I walked into it and it was larger than a small house. There hung rows and rows of black suits and shoes, and more white shirts than I could count. There wasn't much color, and then I spied an array of silk ties, providing a hint of color. He had a large display of cufflinks, gold watches, and a display case of Monte Blanc pens. His closet revealed nothing, only that he liked black and he was partial to order, and he had enough money to collect things. I didn't want to spend my time over-analyzing him, because I came to the realization that I was out of my class, so I turned to get the hell out of there when a figure showed in the doorway. "Can I assist you, Ms. Bishop?" "I was looking for something to eat and my phone when I passed this room," I said, nervous and surprised. "If you allow me to help you back to your room, the maid will bring you a midnight snack. My name is Roger Van Horn. I'm Mr. Blackstone's butler." Looking up at Roger, I placed my hand on his shoulder. I limped back to the room, looking in his face to determine how he viewed me. He was surprisingly handsome for a man of 60. He appeared to have all of his whitish blonde hair, his face etched with years of sun, and his manners perfect. "Your belongings are packed for you. If you decide to leave, they will be given to you." After I lay in the bed for a minute, he promptly brought a tray brimming with cold chicken sandwiches and a choice of 3 beverages: water, beer, and a cola. "If you require some dessert, push that button and someone will attend to your needs." He reached the door and turned. "The house phone is in that drawer," he said, pointing to the nightstand. "Just hit that button and it will appear." I swallowed the sandwich and washed it down with a bottle of Heineken beer. I had no intentions of staying any longer than I had to. I found the phone and called Joshua. "Hello?" "Joshua. Who is this?" "It's me. Alex." "Alex, where the hell are you? I thought something had happened to you because I didn't hear from you, and you didn't show for work. You have to find the address of Blackstone's home. It's somewhere near the lodge. It's a large cabin setting atop a mountain. Someone at work must have the address. Come get me when you finish your shift tomorrow." "Why are you whispering? Did that freak kidnap you? Did he do something to you?" "Come on, Joshua, it's not as dramatic as you think. I'll tell you everything, just come get me." Sleep didn't come easy. I managed to get a few hours. The next morning I had been under the care of Mr. Black for 2 days. You would think that he would have called me. I gave him a chance, but he never called, not even to check on my leg. After climbing out of my lover's bed, I was walking normally. I'm sure Broomhilda was the major cause, plus the muscle relaxer that I used as a sleeping aid to forget Mr. Black. I dressed in my ski suit before the maid entered. "No, miss, Mr. Blackstone gave you these clothes." She opened the closet and dresses and suits were lined up, dresses costing thousands of dollars. I glanced at one dress and thought, when did these get here? Where will I ever wear this? It was a Hervé Leger bandage dress, and the price tag had 2,000 stamped on it, and the next dress was higher until I got sick. Who does he think I am? He can't buy me. I fell in love with that man, and this is how he treats me. I want nothing from him. Not even his love, I declared in a fit of anger. I walked away in silence with not even my dignity, and sat in the chairs waiting for Joshua. No sooner had I sat down when Roger handed me the crumpled letter and contract. "I doubt that you have read this, miss," he stated, looking down on me. I never met his gaze. I took it to be polite and stuffed it into my pocket. He left in the direction of the bedrooms. Joshua's Volvo pulled up, and I stood waving from inside. It was 40 degrees and light snow blanketed the roads. "What's wrong, Alex?" Joshua said with a mixture of concern and anger. With his help, I got into his dark gray Volvo. He closed the door and padded around to the driver's seat and headed the car in the direction of his apartment. A long silence settled on us until I could no longer hide my anger and hurt. What did he see in me? I questioned with tears welling in my eyes. "A piece of ass," Joshua carelessly stated, as if conversing with one of his male buddies. "Yes, I know, but a girl can dream," I said, peering at Joshua, who never took his eyes off the snow-covered road. "I'm not stupid. I know it was a dream until it became impossible to finish." I sucked in air. "Until what? Don't keep me on edge. Tell me." "Until he made love to me, and then he left and I haven't heard from him. He left me alone in that mansion with his servants and tried to pay me off with expensive clothes and another job." "You should have taken them," he said, glancing at me with his big brown eyes. "Then that would make me a whore?" he questioned, glancing at me, taking his eyes off the road. "Watch what you're doing," I chastised. "I want nothing from him. You should read that letter he left, and he had the nerves to enclose a contract." I crumpled it and threw it on the floor, but his butler retrieved it and gave it back, and I shoved it in my pocket. "I'll read it when I am able to stand thinking of him." I laid my head on Joshua's shoulder. "You know people are whispering about you at work, Alex." "What are they saying?" I raised my head, turning to face Joshua. "The usually stuff." He paused, catching my gaze. "That you threw yourself at that rich cunt. Those are my words. I hate that rich bastard for making you so unhappy. I'll be all right as soon as I return to Brooklyn." "You're not leaving, Alex?" "I have to go." "But what will you do for money?" "Blackstone Enterprises gave me a generous package. I was paid $50,000. Joshua hit the brakes and the car jerked and skidded. "Are you crazy?" I shouted. "You were paid $50,000 for 3 months. And nothing about that offer rang a bell. I had to submit to an extensive background check, have a complete exam by the company's doctors. I needed the money, so I signed the contract." "You're getting $50,000 for 3 months' work." He put the car in drive, still staring at me. I know that was excessive, but I told the recruiter that I needed to pay my student loans. I would have agreed to anything. "It appears you did agree to anything, but what? You didn't read the contract." "Where is it?" "I don't know. I have it somewhere." I looked at him with a dumb look, and he shook his head. "What are you saying, Joshua? Why do you think that rich bastard asked about you? He already had you in his crosshairs. He picked you out from a picture and a binder, and you were delivered to him on a platter. Do you think I haven't thought of that? But the way you put it, it sounds obscene. You were used. Get over it." "We were both used. I used his money and I stopped because I had lost my virginity, my self-respect. He has more money than you can spend. He can buy more virgins," Joshua said, not taking his eyes off the road. He didn't know that I hated him at that moment for telling me the truth. They always shoot the messenger. We finally reached his apartment, a row of small buildings with 2 stories, all with balconies, where you could enjoy the stream running below and the sun peeking from behind clouds and mountain tops on special occasions. This was a time I needed some warmth, someone to talk to. I had to try to forget that tall, dark, handsome drink of water. I fell into the chair and my eyes following the river as it snaked up and down, taking pebbles with it. I compared myself to a stream and Max was the ocean. I moved around, twisting and turning, heading for the ocean. All rivers flow into oceans. Anger got the best of me. I made up my mind to quit my job, forget Max, and return to Brooklyn. I had to tell Joshua. He walked through the terrace doors carrying a bottle of wine and 2 glasses. Here, this will make you feel better. I took a sip of wine. I'm leaving for Brooklyn this week. Why, Alex? You're going to let that bastard run you out of Montana? It's beautiful here, but I'm a city girl. I wasn't planning on staying long anyway. What are you going to do? I paid off my college loans and I plan on racking up a fresh set. I'm going back to school. After that, I'll figure something out. But where are you going to live? With the money I saved, and I sublet my apartment. I have no worries but one, well, maybe 2. I gave Joshua a sheepish grin and hunched my shoulders. He knew the wine would loosen my lips. Well? I had unprotected sex. Oh no, you didn't. Joshua stood up and walked around in a circle, more worried than me. I was caught up with that handsome, gorgeous, soft-spoken man. I'd say it was his handsome, gorgeous, hard dick. Well, that too. I tried to make light of it and managed a small smile. I don't think he has a disease, but that was fucking irresponsible on his part. He's fucking 35, an old man. Joshua went on railing about Max's irresponsibility to me. It could be something worse. What could be worse, Alex? I could be pregnant,